What has been the most difficult belief or concept that you wrestle with?
The problem of suffering. John and I have a younger brother who lost a 7-year-old daughter in a horrible car accident. And he's a transplant surgeon. He was out transplanting kidneys and livers and pancreas out at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. So I flew out there and walked with him around the field behind his house. And to listen to the pain over losing his little daughter was incredible. So the question obviously then becomes, okay, the babysitter didn't see the stop sign, drove right through the stop sign, and a pickup truck at 55 miles an hour came careening down the road, smacked into the side of that car, sending our little niece, his daughter, into an early grave. Okay, God, why didn't the babysitter see the stop sign? Why was the pickup truck coming exactly 55 miles an hour? Timing was perfect, just creamed into the car. See, there's a bunch of I do not know. I don't know. But my faith in God, my faith in Christ is not based on the circumstances of life. It's based on the character of God. And that is why it's so important to read the Gospels, to figure out, is God really good? Because if Jesus revealed God accurately, God is really good, in spite of all the horror, the suffering that life throws right into your face and my face.
So in a case like that, because I'm just trying to think abstractly, does everything happen for a reason? And if someone in that case goes through suffering, was that meant to happen?
I would be very, very careful with that line of thinking.
Yeah.
Everything happens for a reason. If I haul back and smack you in the face, Graham, as hard as I can, and then say, oh, God made me do it, or, well, there was a reason that I needed to do that. Be very careful. Very careful, okay? No, I think that we live in a world where there are accidents, where there is great unfairness, where there is incredible chaos. And no, I am very loath to say, oh, there was a reason for this. We really don't know.
Romans 8:28, God works together all things for his good. A lot of people will rip that passage right out of context and say, oh yeah, see, there's a reason for it. God has a reason. No, he works all things, so the good and the bad, ultimately for his great purpose. But that's not saying that he's bringing on the bad, bringing on the evil. It's not like Hinduism that's saying, hey, my cousin, his niece, who died in that car accident, did something wrong. Because there's always a one-to-one connection in Hinduism. If you did something wrong, that's why you suffered. If you suffered, it's because you did something wrong. Atheism, secularism, it's not really that wrong. That's why C.S. Lewis, the most reluctant convert, the greatest mind over at Oxford and Cambridge, said, originally, I wasn't a Christian because I didn't think there was enough evidence. But then all of a sudden, I was really encountered with a lot of suffering. And then I really thought, if there's a God, he's definitely not a good God to allow suffering. But then I thought a little harder and started to reason with myself and saying, oh, wait, if I believe that this is really wrong, this suffering, well, then I'm ushering in a type of moral obligation. This is morally wrong. It's intangible. So there must be some type of spiritual, ethereal existence that actually says this is really wrong. Because from an evolutionary perspective, it's not really wrong. You could say it's sad, but there's not real evil. There's not real suffering where it really should be wrong in itself. So all other is, again, it gets back to your very first question. Why Jesus? Why would this make sense in a way that I should be able to grasp it? Well, what are the alternatives? So you can't just look and just put Jesus Christ in the judgment seat on the dock. You have to put all the alternatives, and if you do so, we believe it's not even close. We believe that the Christian worldview by far and away makes the most sense.